Hello and welcome to Tabletop Odyssey. My name is Jay and today we're going to be doing an 800 point battle report of Star Wars Legion. I'm joined as ever, can't get the mic, the thingy to work properly, as Katie, there she is waving. And we're playing on this sort of Endor map, so we've already done the conditioning things at the start. So we've got key positions, which is there's 3 objectives on 3 pieces of terrain. Whoever claims them at the end of the game gets 1 victory point. Obviously, if you've got 2, you guaranteed a win. Clear conditions, normal deployment there with battle lines. And we've already done the commanding cards at the start. Katie's gone with assault, so she's got 3 units. I've gone with standing orders, so I've just given it the orders to the 1 unit. I'll show you the table as a whole. On the left of the table, we have 1 objective there. That hologram objective is from by the same token. We've got another one on the hill in the middle, and we've got another one on the tree to the right over there. And I'll go through the list, but not really, because I won't necessarily tell you what each one has. Over here on my left, I've got a unit of speeder bikes. They don't have anything. I've got Veers as well, who has esteemed leader and commanding presence. I'll actually show you his cards. But yeah, I've got a unit of stormtroopers. They've got the DLT and an extra guy. Another unit of stormtroopers with the DLT and an extra guy. Another unit of stormtroopers, but they've got the HH-12. We've got a fully decked out AT-ST, and when I say fully decked out, I mean he literally has everything. He has all the upgrades he can pretty much take. So that's that. Another stormtrooper another speeder bike right over here on the right, on that right flank over there. The stormtroopers, one of them's got concussion grenades, one of them's got an impact grenade, and one of them doesn't have any. On Katie's right, which is my left, she's got the airspeeder here on the flank. She has 3 units of troopers with the Z6 trooper, I think that's right, and an extra guy, he's there. They have another mix of like targeting scopes and all that kind of jazz. The AT-RT here has the rotary blast, the one with the 5 black dice. Another unit of Z6 Trooper, another unit of Z6 Trooper. She's pointing there nicely to Luke Skywalker, who's hidden nicely behind these trees. And on the end here, she has the Ion Trooper. Well, obviously a full unit of Rebel Troopers, but that is the Ion Trooper one. And yeah, so I've given my order here to the H-12. Katie's given her orders to Luke, I think. The Airspeeder and the AT-RT. Next time, will you put them next to the units so I can see them? But other than that, let's start. And what we'll do is we'll come back halfway through the turn and we'll talk about what happened in that turn. So let's go. So we're about halfway through turn 1. We've just had something sort of interesting happen at the end, but we'll go through what happened. First and foremost, was this number idea, put in the tokens, that's shamelessly stolen from Star Wars Tabletop Gaming. I think the channel is. I highly recommend you go check him out. They just moved forward, got a dodge token. My guys here with my rocket launcher, they just did the same thing. They just moved forward and got the dodge token. They did the exact same thing, moved forward to the terrain, got a dodge token. My speeder bikes over here at the end, sorry the light's a bit bright, they did 2 moves and then took the dodge token. And then Katie's Ion Troopers shot at the speeder bikes there and did nothing, didn't not a single wound, so not even an ion token, not anything. And then over here, I got my next speeder bikes. They just simply went forward, took a dodge token, but the dodge token's obviously gone, and we'll get onto why right now. And that's because the airspeeder did a compulsory move, aim and shot at the speeder bikes. I have cover 1, obviously, because they get cover 1. Use the dodge token to get rid of 1, and the last dice was failed, and that was 1 wound. Then number 7, oh, that was the airspeeder. And then the last thing that has literally just happened, the AT-ST moved forward just a little bit, didn't aim or anything like that. I was considering shooting these guys who would be in cover, but I didn't really like the range options. And then I thought, well, what about these Ion guys? I rolled 5 hits, well, 4 hits and a crit. Katie's defense dice is 4 white, 1 block, and 4 of them are dead by Rebel Troopers. So we have a few guys yet to move. Luke, Veers, AT-RTs and such, and we'll come back when they have done so. So as Katie cries, we'll go on to the bottom of turn 1. We've just finished turn 1 now, and not much has really happened if we're honest, but Katie's first unit of troopers over here, I say it's sort of on the left side, but hiding behind this big hill on the left over here. She took a move forward, took a dodge, didn't really do too much. Then I have these DLT troopers here, the ones who are sort of semi-badly painted. They simply moved forward, took a shot at the ATRT over there, didn't really do anything at all. Then behind, you can't really see him, he's somewhere over there, but Luke Skywalker went and hid behind some trees. Not really doing much if we're honest. And the same sort of with Veers, but Veers is sort of, I can't even show you this because it's so hard. Veers is sticking out here. He just moved forward 2 turns just to get into cover. Didn't really do too much. And then Katie pounced with the ATRT. She came forward here and then shot, no aims or anything, shot at my man, at the main man, Veers. He took a wound, obviously, got a suppression token, but that'll be getting removed. And then, unfortunately, we used Guardian. I say unfortunately for my Stormtroopers. Used Guardian, lost a Stormtrooper. Veers saved one of them himself. And then my boys stepped up here. This unit at the back here, DLT Stormtrooper unit, took a shot at the ATRT over there, causing 2 wounds, much to Katie's dismay. Can't quite get that right. Much to Katie's dismay. And that's the end of that turn, I think. So let's have a look at it from the board perspective. On the left, we've still got the Airspeeder over there, still on the flank, facing off against the speeder bikes and the DLT trooper. Veers is hiding in the bushes. Katie's trooper unit hiding behind those rocks near the ATRT. I've got another unit of stormtroopers here at the back who aimed and shot at the ATRT. The H-12 guys, they moved up. They're in a nice position to shoot at that airspeeder. I don't mean the airspeeder, the ATRT. Katie's got 2 units of troopers behind this hill in the middle. Luke's away. I don't really know why she's been so cautious with Luke at the minute. This trooper unit pretty much decimated here by the ATST and the speeder bikes along with a shed ton of dice on the flank there. So we'll remove the tokens. We'll do the pips for the next turn. And, well, actually, yeah, we'll do that right now, and then we'll do the next turn. Just to say, we've just picked our command cards. Katie's gone with the 4 pip standing orders. I've gone with evasive manoeuvres. Now, just to read mine for Katie's benefit as well, I get to issue orders to 2 vehicles. When a friendly vehicle unit is issued an order, it gains 1 dodge token. Friendly vehicle units can spend dodge tokens to cancel out hit results where you crit results where you obviously normally can do hit. So that should be interesting. Obviously, I'm looking at the ATST and my speeder bikes over yonder. So yeah, we'll do half of the turn and we'll be back. So we're about halfway through turn 2. The unit that went first was these stormtroopers. They had a compulsory move from about here. They went to here. They did an aim. They have a dodge token from Veers' command card. They did an aim and shoot at the from Veers. Sorry. They did an aim and shoot on the airspeeder, only causing 1 wound. And then after that, we had Mr. ATRT over here shooting at Veers, who you still can't see, but he is in these is in these trees, caused a wound and a suppression token on him. Then, because Katie had moved the ATRT forward, my unit of H-12 stormtroopers, they shot the rocket launcher at ATRT, causing it, I think it caused 2 wounds, which meant that it hit the resilience value on the ATRT. That's disabled, is it? The one where it can't move, basically. So that was the 3rd option. Then number 4, Katie's stormtroopers, who got destroyed a little bit by the ATST in turn 1. They just took a move back. I think she readied the ion trooper. Then Veers went, and Veers just took a dodge token, and we'll see if that was sensible or not. But because he was already 1 suppressed at the time, he's 2 now, but we'll explain why in a second. He only had 1 action, so he just took a dodge. Then Katie took out the, she moved Luke Skywalker from behind these trees to behind this rock, just to get him into the game, because he really wasn't doing anything. And then over on, well, he's still not doing anything. Over on the right-hand side of the board, and I'm going to have to come this way, excuse the mess on the floor, the speeder bikes, compulsory moved, and then did a manual move, and shot at these two rebel troopers, causing 2 crits and Katie's 2 blanks, and they're dead. So that was unit number 7, well, in this case. And then the one where we're at right now, I still haven't rolled the dice for this, but over up in the middle of the board here, Katie's trooper units have shot at Veers with the Z6 trooper. Veers in cover. Katie's rolled this, let me see if I can do this, that number of hits and crits. She rolled 1 extra hit, but that's obviously been taken by cover. We're giving him light cover. So we need to... No, it's fine. We need to roll the dice here. Now, I'm going to use Guardian because Veers has a steamed leader. He can cause a unit, cause the Stormtroopers to take a wounding for him instead. So I'm going to roll the dice for the Stormtroopers. They have survived. They keep doing that. Then the rest here. Now, if I don't roll 4 blocks, Veers is dead, basically. So this is fairly important. Let's see if I can manage this to actually stay on camera. It's 3 blocks, 2 wounds though. That's just enough to kill Veers, and Veers is dead. Oh, the dodge.
3 blocks there.
I should have taken a dodge, but it would still be 2 wounds. Oh, now I've messed this up a little bit because we took one of the blocks, one of the hits for cover, but I didn't use his dodge token. Now, will Katie let me go back and use my dodge token?
Yeah, you can use
So she will let me use my dodge token, but it doesn't really matter because let's just say it was, even if it was one of them, he would have 1 wound. So it's probably a bit of a mess up here. We'll just call him dead. It's just fairer to call him dead. Balls to it. He wasn't going to survive much longer anyway. It's my own fault for not using my dodge token. Fair play to Katie for letting me do that. But Veers is dead, and he's no more. And that's the middle of turn 2. I will probably have to assign a new leader, and I'll probably give it to these guys in the middle, just so I've got a bit of control left in the middle of the board. But yeah, we'll see how the end of turn 2 goes down without Veers. To be fair, I didn't do very well at keeping him alive. We are now at the end of turn 2, and a fair chunk has happened, I guess. As you can see, there's a lot of different movement here up on the left side of the board as we sweep across to the right side of the board. We'll get onto over there in a moment. So the first thing that went was my Stormtroopers here. They were in between this, they were in this part of the board. And I didn't want to get attacked by the Airspeeder, which if you wondered, it's not dead, it's just there. So what I did is I double moved up to these rocks just to sort of get myself into a little bit of cover. And then Katie's unit over here, the rebel unit, they shot at the mammoth himself, the Big Daddy, as we call him, which I've never called him, but I am now calling him Big Daddy. Didn't do anything though. Not a scratch on the ATST. And then my unit of troopers here shot at that ATRT. He was already on 4 wounds. So I was like, oh, might do something. Caused 1 wound. So he's only got 1 wound left. Then Katie's with her rebel troopers over here. I'm just going the wrong way, sorry. She's pointing it nicely to me and I'm thinking. They did a move from about there up onto the terrain. Now we're treating the terrain as like barriers. So it's not impassable terrain. So they can just move on it as long as you're using the range 1, the movement 1 tool. And then the ATST used his General Veers. Who as you can see is exhausted. Clippy copy Patch is in the background. Let's see if we can get him on. There's Patch. There's Patch, looking cute. He then shot at those rebel troopers there, absolutely annihilated them. Katie's white dice, failing completely. We tipped them over so you can see the dead, and they're long dead. And good riddance to them, is what I say, good riddance to them. Katie's face, a picture there, but she, I didn't know how to control the tool. And then we had I'm using this tool completely improperly. The Airspeeder started out here, did a compulsory move to here. It was a bit awkward because she couldn't land exactly there, but she could squeeze in here. Then she did a normal move to there, and then shot at the ATST. Now it's got impact 3 on the front, caused 2 wounds on my beastie boy. And she has, I can't remember the name of the weapon that fires backwards. The harpoon, not the harpoon, it's the other one.
AX-108?
The AX-108. So she shot backwards onto the speeder bikes, caused 2 hits. But I rolled 2 blocks with the speeder bikes, so nothing doing there. So we'll just sweep across the board. Here is the left side of the board. You can see the objective there. And it's whoever holds the objective at the end of turn 6. With your unit leaders. So we've got Katie's trooper units up on the back. They're very interesting. Mine just hiding behind those rocks. She's got the height advantage, the high ground, I should say, if we're doing Star Wars. The speeder bikes are a little bit interesting, still got enough wounds, but really the action's all happening in the middle of the board. The AT-RT on 1 wound, can't move, hoping that's going to be fairly out of the game pretty soon. The airspeed is interesting because it's literally now going to have to fly straight across the middle of the battlefield, which is an interesting move to do. I've got these 2 units of stormtroopers just at the back, just chilling. My rocket launcher dude, he needs to ready. Obviously Veers is dead, so they have promoted them. The ATST with all 4 weapons, well you can only shoot the 2 weapons at this point, but still over there you can see Luke and the extra unit of troopers there. She is down to 2 units of troopers after starting with 4. And right at the very back here, we've got these speeder bikes on the right flank, right in the far corner there. Who knows what they'll do? Can they get around the back? Maybe put a bit of damage onto Luke? We will see. Any thoughts, briefly, Katie?
I like cheese.
She likes cheese and I like turtles. So we'll do turn 2. Well, we'll probably just do the command cards and then we'll do turn 3, sorry. We're just starting turn 3. Katie's gone with ambush, so she will be going first. And I've gone with push, so I did sort of want to go first, but Katie has snuck in there, or sneaked, whichever one it is, and she will be going first. I'm not sure what Katie's plan is, but we'll find out halfway through turn 1. We'll probably come back at turn 3, I should say. We'll probably, because a couple of units are dead, we'll do like 3 units and then we'll be back. We're halfway through turn 3. Katie's speeder bike, which has got 1 wound, we've not moved it over. Speeder, sorry. Moved forward, shot at the ATST, only caused 1 wound this time. And then the ATST was angry and shot at Katie's troopers over there, causing 3 wounds. As you can see, they're on the back over there. Then Katie's AT-RT, you can tell, has died, but before he did die, shot at my trooper unit here in cover, but managed to cause a wound. They've still not been yet. But then, just before we started recording, this trooper unit shot at the AT-RT, and I've got to say, rolled several crits, and but Katie was never going to roll that many blocks. In fact, she's been fairly terrible at rolling blocks today. I really suggest you get better at rolling blocks. Okay. That's really going to help your case in the future, okay, if you roll more blocks on your dice, I think. And yeah, so that's not the end of turn 3, but it's halfway through turn 3. My ATST, I readied Veers, and then used Veers straight away, and then shot all my weapons again. Batch over there in the corner, being Clippy Corey. So he caused 3 wounds on the rebel troopers, ignoring cover and all that, but he then shot with the card which is mortar launcher, and that has suppressive. So basically, he didn't really do any wounds, but you get a suppression token from being shot at, and then he gains another one, and it already had 2 from last turn, so we removed 1, so it had 1 from last turn, so he's now on 3. So when Katie does activate this unit, they're probably going to panic, depending on how many she rallies, and we'll see what happens to them. And I wonder if they get injured running off the cliff, but I'm not 100% sure about that. No, because we're not playing as impassable terrain, so they won't get injured. So Katie's got that unit to go, Luke to go. That unit has not been either. So just those 3 to go at the back. I still have the speeder bikes here, that unit of stormtroopers, this unit of stormtroopers, and right in the far corner over there is a unit of speeder bikes who have yet to go. So we'll do that and, of course, return. Just concluded turn 3. my beautiful assistant is pointing to number 1. Basically, that trooper unit just went from behind that cover to behind that cover, mainly to try and head towards this objective here on the right, and maybe trying to defend it from the speeder bikes. Then what this unit, my H-12 Stormtroopers did, they recovered so that my rocket launcher can shoot, but the rocket launcher is 2 to 4, so it couldn't actually shoot the speeder bikes. But they shot the speeder bike, the air speeder, caused a wound on him anyway. And then over here, I was wrong about panic and suppression a little bit. It had an extra suppression that it shouldn't have had because I accidentally gave it too many. 2, it was in range of Luke, who was there, so it wasn't going to panic, so he could use his courage. It didn't rally any of the suppressions off. Then it just recovered so that it got rid of all the suppressions. So yeah, it was completely fine. Number 4 was... I've got number 5, but we don't actually have number 4. But I think...
There you go.
Not 100% sure what happened next. Oh, number 4 was my speeder bikes over here. So they actually, you can see they're down 2 models. The speeder bikes were about here. They had a compulsory move there, and then I managed to squeeze on there quite nicely, getting a point-blank range shot at the rebels, causing 2 wounds, adding that suppression token that you can see. And then Katie's gone a bit bold because Katie's forces are dwindling here. You can see she's got 1 unit of troopers over there, down to 4. That unit's down to 3. She's got Luke and the air speeder, and that's about it. So Katie's bold move was she jumped from behind that rock, did a double move, getting the free attack onto the ATST, causing, I think, 2 wounds, possibly 3. Either way, it's now on 6 wounds. 2 more and it'll be damaged. It'll hit its resilience value. 5 more and it will die. And then that was pretty much all of Katie's turn. Then my speeder bikes went from being in this corner. You can see I've still got some of the tokens and stuff. Oh, I'm knocking everything over while I'm doing this, so I shouldn't really do that. But the speeder bikes did a compulsory move, then a normal move, shooting the air speeder, causing 2 wounds. That's on 4 wounds, 1 away from its resilience value. And then finally, I had a unit of troopers there, and I was like, oh, I could do with possibly getting some close to some of the objectives, because we've got an objective here. So I just did a double move straight onto that. And as you can see, as we sweep across the board, I'm holding that 1 objective, but it doesn't really count until the end of turn 6, and we are moving on to turn 4. I'm looking pretty much good for this one, but I'm going to have to start moving my troops forward. Luke is going to be munching through these guys, and Luke can obviously claim that. It could happen. Katie could actually still win here if the ATST, she'll just walk away from the ATST, maybe if Luke manages to kill both of these trooper units, then I'm not going to have the middle one at all, and I'm not going to have the one on the right. And she might be able to contest the one on the left. So Katie's a little bit downtrodden. She's not feeling particularly comfortable, but that's because I'm munching through her in numbers. But in terms of objectives, it could happen. So we'll see what happens. We're going to go into turn 4. Oh, we think Katie's pretty much going to go Son of Skywalker. I think we've pretty much already had a little bit of a chat. She'll probably then get to go first, probably double move into these. Well, I say she's going to get to go first. That's a lie, because I'm probably going to go with is it ambush, the 1 pipper? It's going to be my turn, so we'll see who gets to go first. Even if Katie doesn't get to go first, I'm not going to be able to kill Luke. We're going to have a bit of an issue, so let's see. So because the units are getting quite a lot lower, we've pretty much done the whole of turn 4. And the first thing that we did, I actually went with ambush. I can't really show you that. I went with ambush, and Katie went with my ally is the Force, to try and get some dodge tokens. So I went first. I took this unit of stormtroopers with the DLT, but they also have impact grenades. So I moved them forward through the impact grenades at the airspeeder, and the airspeeder took a few wounds, and the airspeeder's dead. So that happened, that's the thing. And then Katie, now I thought Katie was going to move out of range of, was going to move forward into my infantry units, but she just attacked the ATST. I think it only caused 1 wound this time, so not great rolling on Katie's behalf there. Then number 3, I took my speeder bikes from here, did the compulsory move, aimed and shot into the 3 guys that was there, killed 2 of them. Katie's down to 1 last guy. That 1 last guy just moved from there to there. She's trying to claim this objective here on the far right of the board. My trooper unit who was here, which is like in the middle of the board. Let me just see if I can turn that up. There we go. They've gone this way. They're heading towards that objective because we want to kill that guy, claim that objective at the end of turn 6. And then Katie's trooper units who were on this hill here on the left have jumped down basically. I just realised something. I don't think I moved that unit of speeder bikes. I have not moved that unit of speeder bikes, possibly because I didn't put the token in the thing. So what I'll do is I'll just move them forward in a second because they're not going to do anything interesting anyway. Excuse me, but that's something that obviously I should have done. They moved down, didn't really do too much. My troopers here, they took a pot shot at them and I think killed one of them. And then the last unit of all was the ATST. The ATST just attacked Luke, causing a single wound. So I'll do that maneuver. They'll end up being here in the middle because that's where I was planning on doing with them anyway. And yeah, that's the end of turn 4. We're very going into turn 5. Will Katie continue to beat down on the ATST, or will she try and maybe kill this unit of stormtroopers to maybe allow herself to capture that objective? Because she could maybe kill them troopers, move onto the model, but then the ATST I think can claim objectives because it just says unit leader and he is the unit leader. But if she causes 1 more wound, it could be damaged and maybe not be able to move. So she could maybe spend 1 turn doing that and then 1 turn killing them. But then she wouldn't be able to claim the middle objective and I would claim it with that. So Katie's she's not got many good options, shall we say. I don't think they're going to be able to, I don't think 3 guys are going to be able to kill my unit of 4 stormtroopers who aren't going to move. But we'll see. We've just finished the end of turn 5. Katie went with Son of Skywalker and I went with Assault. And Son of Skywalker was used to, let's say, devastating effect. Basically killed the ATST, who is completely dead, as you can see. Initially he got damaged or disabled, whatever it is. And then Lucas moved on to the objective, contesting that. Number 2, this unit of troopers here on the right, who were heading towards that objective over there, did a move, shot at the dead guy, as you can see there. He wasn't dead when they shot at them. That'd be weird, because, you know, why would you do such a thing? That's just overkill. And then Katie's 3rd unit was the rebels that were behind that hill. They moved forward to get into cover there. And then the speeder bikes, they did a stupid ass move in that the speeder bikes started over there, come straight over this hill to here. And then this unit of speeder bikes, they started there and basically just went like 1, 2, 3. The idea being here that I really don't want this to be contested, but my unit of troopers who were here, they just did a move so to ignore that cover, shot and killed 2 of those rebel troopers, the pesky rebel troopers. And then my final unit was in the middle of the board. We had this DLT unit who initially moved up to here, grenaded the airspeeder. They then just moved to contest that objective. Now Luke, I don't think he's going to be able to kill them all this turn, so I suspect that this will be contested. That one will be mine. And this one should, well, the camera's not coming over there, but this one should be mine. He's got 1 guy left. She's got 1 guy left. If I don't manage to kill that in the last turn, I'm going to be pretty devastated. And really, that's all the game's going to be. So what we might do is skip. Just quickly, we'll just skip that. Katie will probably move into combat with me there. Fail to kill me, we suspect. Then we'll do whatever Katie's plan over there is, but I'm not expecting much success, really. So we'll go. I only have standing orders left because Katie killed Veers. So I only have standing orders left. Katie, anything other than a 4 will pretty much go before me. But we'll probably just play maybe to the conclusion here because there really isn't much left on the table. Katie has gone with, she's got a 3 pipper, but she gets Luke Skywalker, and that's pretty much it because that unit of rebels is out of range. I only get the 1 unit, and the 1 unit I would give it to would be, well, they're out of range over there, so it could only either be them or them. I'd probably just give it to this guy, but Katie, like, won't really matter. Everybody else should really go in the pile. So Katie will do that attack, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. If anything interesting comes back, I'll record it live, basically, as they say. So we've just finished turn 6. It pretty much went as expected. Luke got into combat with the stormtroopers there, killed 2. The stormtroopers did nothing in return. That's a contested objective. I've not even moved the speeder bikes because there really is no point. So that's that. Katie then, obviously, she moved to contest this point, which is the only thing she really could do. Then took a dodge. The dodge wouldn't have mattered anyway because she rolled like 3 blanks or whatever. So my melee attack against him, that guy, killed him. So that's my objective, a contested objective. And then the stormtrooper over here on the right just double moved straight into the objective, basically. So that's the whole board as a whole. She did. No, we already showed you the cards. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you can, the camera being a bit weird there because I've got this stupid mic plugged in. But this is the board as a whole. Pretty much not much left on the table. The speeder bikes did a really good job for me. Really versatile. They've got fantastic movement. They can get across the board very easily. And the ATST, whilst a lot of points, and considering I had Veers who is obviously cheaper, the ATST really stepped up for me and just allowed me with General Veers, just to pump out an absolute shed ton amount of damage, pretty much decimating 2 units of infantry on his own. Katie not really having enough to really stop him. But I really like the speeder bikes. The decked out ATST I quite liked. Having the troopers with Veers I actually enjoyed. I feel like Darth Vader could have been useful if he just walks forward and does his damage, but in this case it's not really mattered. It was a fun game. I really enjoyed it. We're going to have some takeaway right now, and I'm walking over to Katie. We've not yet shook hands. We've not shook hands on camera, so let me take off the microphone and ask you a couple of questions. Any thoughts?
I would use more anti-vehicle.
Yeah, because you had one ion trooper. And really he got killed early on by the ATST. And we're not really at the stage of doing proper list building, but I think obviously for the rebels that's one thing we would definitely consider.
And I would have moved Luke onto the ATST earlier.
Yeah, you saw how much he did when you actually got him in combat. Initially, you started him off like hiding behind these covers, and I think that's why I first played Darth Vader. I was like, be a bit cautious with him. But then there were a lot of points, and you sort of need to get them involved because the game's over quite quickly.
Yeah,
it is.
It is over quite quickly. Well, not really. It's several hours.
It still takes a while, but there's not that many turns or anything. 6 turns is still quite quickly. So I was going to try and do a selfie, but I actually don't know how to do selfies with this without holding it really awkwardly. No, we're in together. Oh. No idea if we're on the screen, but thank you so much for watching. What should they do? I always ask you this.
Please like and subscribe.
You should like and subscribe.
And tell Jason he's batting above his weight.
Wow, somebody said that on one of your tutorials, a Doggerbar Swamp tutorial. Wow. Thanks. Have a beautiful day, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope the battle report is all recorded and everything okay. If anything's gone wrong, I'll put back in the notes or something. But thank you very much and goodbye. Bye.
Bye.